Howdy, I'm Gray Pilgrim. Time for another history lesson. I'm going to do it with the help of a story. The time is 1942. You're a young member of the Reichs Labor Service who's been assigned to a artillery battalion that runs these horse-drawn 18s. They're 105s, and you're on the Stalingrad front. By this time, it's become the Stalingrad pocket. All of your supplies are being airlifted in. The problem is, your battalion has basically you're a labor guy, and your job is to watch after the horses that haul the artillery pieces. Well, your battalion basically got virtually wiped out by the Russian advances. Most of the artilleries are smashed. Most of the troops are dead, and most of the horses got killed. You have a few horses left, but no artillery pieces to pull with them. And you got a buddy. You're a young man who came from a farming community somewhere near Bonn, and your buddy came from Bavaria. He was a loadmaster on a Ju-52 that was part of the airlift to bring supplies in. Unfortunately, the airfield he was landing at got shelled just as he was landing, and his landing gear got caught in the shell hole and snapped off, and the plane sort of creamed out of control to the side. Gasoline caught on fire, and that was, fuel caught on fire, and he was barely able to escape. So he's stuck there too. So he's Luftwaffe, you're labor service. Well, you don't have any assigned jobs anymore, but what you've got is a couple of horses. So what you do is you take a peasant cart, and the local commanders say, okay, you're now a new team I've put together, and your job is to take all the corpses of dead soldiers we've got and stack them over there in the trenches or on the edge of our lines. So you basically have become a grave detail. So here you are, you both out there hauling bodies on this cart, and it's every rank you can think of. Well, they don't have any weapons left to give you because they're running out of supplies. So you and your buddy, well, what you do is when you drop the corpse off to the trench, you rifle through the holsters and stuff and pull out at least the pistols they've got so that you can at least have something. So what do you end up with? Well, take a look down here. See that? Well, various people you've gone through. Your buddy says, oh, I recognize that. It was from an old Luftwaffe pilot. And this is an FN 1922. He said he had one once. He had traded a couple of bottles of schnapps that he brought out to when he was assigned to France, and had picked one up. These were made by FN and were taken over by mainly by the Luftwaffe. You pulled, of all things, a major out of the pile, and he had this. And what's this? This is a Walther. It's a 25 auto, and it's called I can never remember, a WTP. This was basically an officer's pistol. It was never really a Army issue. You have to buy this, and this one is broken. It's got some issues with it. But it's all beat up, and it looks like something that came right out of the Eastern Front. This is definitely an officer's pistol, not something for actual combat, but you picked it up anyway. This is a CZ-38 from Brno in Czechoslovakia. They had just assigned this as the official sidearm of the Czech army right when the war, well, actually, when the Nazis rolled in and took Czechoslovakia. So they took it as a substitute standard and shipped all they had to the Eastern Front. So some officer was actually carrying this. Now these two, this is a Walther PPK, shaken not stirred. Only this one is really beat to hell, probably from the Eastern Front. It has some Waffen stamps on it, of course, but I think this is probably pre-war, but probably in some another officer's pocket and carried by him. And this one, I absolutely know, is a Russian capture because it has the X, which denotes a Russian capture on the side of the frame. So all of these pistols would be found higgledy-piggledy throughout the surrendering troops in the Stalingrad pocket. In February 43, everyone surrenders. I think Paulus was the field marshal in charge, and he was captured. And Hitler was very, very upset with him. Well, who wouldn't be, I suppose. But this is just a collection of the pistols that a German army would have in their possession at that time. All of these are all 32s. This is a 380, and this is a 25. But you know, they're typical of the kind of pistols either issued or just this was probably a high-ranking officer's pistol, personal. But anyway, the story tells you that these kind of things would be found in the Stalingrad pocket. A sad tale, but real history. Happy trails.